What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I want to talk to you about Kraven and why this movie sucked.
What are you waiting for?
Come join the Geek Drums Nation. If you are new here, please like, share, and subscribe. Do all of that good stuff. Do all of that fun stuff. Let's dive right into this thing. One, I'll name the good. Russell Crowe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the whole Kravinoff family, seeing that family dynamic between Kraven, Sergey, um, their father, and Dimitri. Seeing that was cool. Them acknowledging that Dimitri is not really like a full blood relative, a full blood brother. Yes, I love that. The thing I did not love, the kids that played Sergey and Dimitri, they were terrible in my opinion, and that's not me. I don't blame the kids. I blame the script. This script was terrible. The reshoots that were meant to help the film, in my opinion, hindered it. His origin story literally was all over the place. Like, it was legitimately all over the place. Actually, a lot of this film was all over the place for me. Like I said, Aaron Taylor Johnson, a highlight of this film. I love him as an actor. I loved him as in Kick Ass. I loved him in Age of Ultron as Quicksilver. I would have loved to have seen him reprise that role at some point down the line. But as Kraven, he's amazing. He's an Americanized Kraven. He does not have the accent that Kraven has, and it boggles the mind after we had such an amazing adaptation of Kraven in the Spiderman 2 game. That version of Kraven is amazing. Then we get this. Trust me, the action, the fighting, the powers, all of that good stuff, it's there. It's everything around it that makes a movie that's terrible. The dialogue in this movie, let me just say, my wife fell asleep in the first 5 minutes of this film, and that was part of the 8 minutes that they released to the public. Now, that action scene was good. Like, the action, like he bites somebody's nose off. Spoilers, I'm sorry. This movie is rated R. You see blood, you see gore, you see knives going through people's heads, you see hatchets going through people's heads in this movie. But would I advise you spend money on that in theaters? No. I say wait till this thing is free on Amazon Prime or something. This is not a movie that I would pay to go see twice. I honestly, I want a refund. I regret going to see it once. I wasted a date night on this film, but I wanted to. I had high hopes because the newer trailers after the reshoots, they gave me hope. The serum that Calypso gave Kraven as a kid, that all comes full circle when they meet again. But how in the world did he track her down? He just shows up at some funeral she's at after she gives this speech that you would not realistically give at a funeral if you're trying to stay out of somebody's crosshairs. They meet up. He calls himself the hunter. He's an advocate for animals. We see him kill these different hunters that killed buffaloes and stole the horns. And mind you, he's been doing this in the wild since he was a kid. So he's built up a reputation as the hunter. But lo and behold, everybody else seems to figure this out right away. It's crazy. And it turns out this whole thing is just a setup by his father. His father is horrible, by the way. And Chameleon, I loved the way that they handled Chameleon in this movie. We do get to see a small peek of what he's supposed to look like. Like the Chameleon from the comics with the white face, all that stuff. We see that for 2 seconds. Everything else that involves the Chameleon is him being able to perfectly mimic people. He has a successful small singing career. He owns a bar. He sings in there all the time, and he can imitate anybody. That's a cool talent. I thought that was really cool. That's a really interesting way to show that, he will become Chameleon, fully in the future. I didn't think we were going to see it at the end of this film. Sorry, spoilers. Sorry, not sorry. Like I said, you shouldn't want to see this film anyway. This film is hot garbage. Some of the line deliveries for Calypso, and Ariana DeBose is an amazing actress. This movie did her no justice. This script did her no justice. When I say it feels like this film was cut and pasted together. Bro, having the Foreigner show up in this, Silver Sable's husband at one point, having him in this movie it's no point in having him there. And then the Rhino, every version of Alexei Six Savage has been terrible thus far. And Paul Giamatti could have pulled it off. This guy could have pulled it off. The scripts suck. And yes, Alexei's not an intelligent guy in the comics all the time. No, he's not intelligent, but he's not this campy. Like this was over and beyond. Like the way that they handled the Rhino, he has a sickness. He went to Miles Warren. Miles Warren helped make him stronger. Basically, whenever he disconnects his medicine pack, he transforms into the Rhino. It's a very painful experience, but he does not experience pain after because he's full-blown Rhino. The Rhino transformation, it was cool to me, but he was defeated way too easily, if you ask me. Now, that leads me to this. Sony, why do you keep setting yourselves up for failure? You have every right to use Spider-Man. You guys just chose not to because you didn't want to confuse general audiences by having Tom Holland appear. It didn't have to be Tom Holland. It could have been Toby. It could have been Andrew. It could have been somebody new. You could have just used Miles. Like, your live-action non-Spider-Man Spider-Man films are garbage. Meanwhile, the Miles Morales animated films are making millions, billions at the box office. Like, nobody wants to see this anymore. Madam Web was a snooze fest. Morbius is a vampire movie where you don't see the vampires doing vampire things. Like, you cut away Venom. He eats people's heads, but you don't see any blood. But Kraven is where you say, oh, let's make this R-rated. Bro, they're dropping F-bombs for no reason. like the line deliveries on some of these cuss words in this film are terrible. Genuinely made me like audibly gasp. Like, this is people in my theater, like when they would say certain lines, the lines aren't meant to be funny. The line deliveries and the dialogue, the script that's written is what's hilarious because it's that bad. Like, I gave this movie a 3.5 out of 10. It's gonna stay there. Would I recommend this film? No, not even to my worst enemy. But if you want to go see it, if you have seen it, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Me personally, I'm washing my hands of this film. I will never watch this film again, like, at all, unless I'm bored, unless there's nothing else on TV. But I'll catch you guys next time.